We're good.
We're recording?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Welcome, guys, to Earl DFS. It's a brand new channel where my brother and I were going to be breaking down DFS plays from baseball, basketball, football, and maybe a couple miscellaneous sports along the way. We don't know yet. Maybe like college football or stuff like that in the future. And all of our information we have here are based on projections and information from rankfantasysports.com. Their link will be in the description below. Today you can get a 7-day free trial, and it's only $9.99 a month. So if you are interested in seeing the projections we get all these numbers off of, link is in the description below. Let's get into the video.
All right.
Week 8 of the NFL.
Is it not one? I'll have it on the wrong screen. Come on. There we go.
There we go. First, we're going to be breaking down quarterbacks here. You made this list. What do you have to say about it?
All right. So basically, what I did is I took some of the top projected, some of the top point per dollar players. So Watson's pretty much a must play. He's projected the highest out of any quarterback on the slate. He is 7,100, so you'd have to build a little bit around him, but you definitely can. Russell Wilson is also projected pretty well. He's projected, he's the second highest projected quarterback on the slate. Little bit behind, he's like 4 or 5 points behind Watson, but both of them very, very good plays. Breeze is coming back from an injury, but he's got all of his weapons. He's got Thomas, but
Kamara's out.
And Kamara's out, so you're going to be throwing the ball a little bit more. Latavius Murray will be a part of the passing game as well. A little bit, not extreme, but Drew Brees is a must play. Is a play for me. I have 2 or 3 lineups with him already, so
yeah, that's the first thing I disagree with your list there. I think he should be put down to maybe because he is coming back from injury, so you don't know how he is going to be with that thumb throwing the ball. But he's definitely an intriguing play, but not someone I'm trying to put into lineups this morning. Maybe next week.
Well, we'll have to check. We'll have to see and see how he does after this week.
Oh, yeah.
I also have Matthew Stafford, which after having one of the best fantasy performances last week is going up against the Giants defense, which their secondary is not the strongest in the league.
One of the worst. Yeah.
And I feel like with Marvin Jones and with Galladay, Stafford's going to have a big game. And
you also got to keep an eye on Hawkinson in the middle of the field. This guy, he's been rumored to be the next Robert Gronkowski, so I think he's going to definitely be
big shoes.
Really, really good today. As much as this kills me to say it as a Giants fan, the Lions offensive players are really good plays today.
100%. And then the last yes that I have is Jared Goff. And the main reason behind that one is he's playing the Bengals. And you got to play against the Bengals. They're just giving out free wins at this point.
The one thing that I love Jared Goff in this matchup, the one thing I would worry about with him is not that he's playing Cincinnati, which is a hell of a matchup. It's that you never know, this Rams team could go up 21-0 at halftime, and they'll just run the ball with Gurley and Henderson to end the game, which limits the amount of throws Jared Goff. Chances are that won't happen. I think Cincinnati does have a couple weapons with like Tyler Boyd and Alden Tate, where they could keep this game somewhat competitive, but at the end of the day, I think in the fourth quarter, you'll see a lot more Todd Gurley than you will Jared Goff.
I still think you'll see Jared Goff throughout the whole entire game throwing the ball.
Oh, absolutely. He likes to drop back and throw the ball at least 40 times a game.
Because knowing the Bengals, they'll try to keep it close before choking.
Yeah.
Some of the maybes I have, Tannehill and Carr, they're projected pretty good for point per dollar. Top 3, those are top 2 and 3 for point per dollar players.
They are also $5,100 and $5,000.
So you got to be careful with that. I also have Gardner Minshew in there. If you have him with DJ Chark or Westbrook, that could definitely be an option, along with Fournette in the passing game a little bit. And then Tom Brady, you can't put him as a no. So, I mean, I had to put him in there. They're going up against the Browns this week. So, I mean, they're not the best of defenses, but they're definitely not the Bengals or the Dolphins or the Jets. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you got to put them in there. And then some other plays that you would normally play a lot, but I'm saying I'm not starting them this week. It's Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, and Daniel Jones.
I would have to agree with Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals have just been pissing me off the last few weeks, so I'm really turned away from them. Daniel Jones, until he can prove that he can protect the ball in the pocket, I'm not going to be going back to anytime soon. But Josh Allen could be a very intriguing play. I think if I made this list, he'd be a maybe, not a no, because the Philadelphia secondary is one of the worst in the NFL. That's why you're also going to want to target their wide receivers today with John Brown and Cole Beasley. So I think Josh Allen could have been a maybe rather than a no, but
I just feel like if we already have 9 quarterbacks that I'd rather start over Josh Allen, so that's why I put him down as a no. Because most of the time you're not playing more than 9 quarterbacks.
yeah.
So
You want to try to limit your list to a little bit smaller when it comes to quarterbacks.
So that's our quarterback list. Let us know what you guys think in the description, in the comment section below. And running backs. No, we're not on the page. We got this. Running backs.
This is my list, yes. All right. So some of my yeses here, Latavius Murray at 5,800. He's going to be a great value play today. Alvin Kamara was ruled out last night, so expect him to have the same workload he did against the Chicago Bears defense last week, which he absolutely went off on for 35 points. Now, don't expect another 35-point performance, but this Arizona defense is one of the worst in the NFL, so you can expect a 20-plus point performance out of Latavius Murray. He's still the best backup running back in the league. So,
you can make the argument about the third guy on the list too. So, I mean,
yeah, those guys are like top 2, top 3. But next we have Sony Michel for the New England Patriots at 5,200, even cheaper. And I really like what Sony Michel has to offer today because GameScript says New England's going to be up big. I think they're 10.5 or 13.5 point favorites. So they're going to be running the ball a lot in the second half, which also can bring in James White a little bit. But I think Sony Michel is the better rushing attack running back. James White's more of the pass catching running back. So Sony Michel is going to be more effective there in the second half when they're up big. He also had 2 touchdowns last week against the Jets, which made him one of the highest scoring players on the Monday night slate. It was actually really cool. But, of course, their defense took the show there, like they seem to do every week. Next, we have Chase Edmonds, who absolutely dominated the New York Giants last week after they said David Johnson's going to be in, he's going to be limited, whatever, and then he says, he's going to be fully active, and then all of a sudden, after the game started, he was in an emergency situation. So, luckily, I did not start him last week. I didn't get burned by that, but that led Chase Edmonds to be about 2% drafted, which props to the people who drafted him. That was amazing. He ended up going off for 36 points. So
some crazy number.
And his price did rise a little bit, and he is going up against the New Orleans defense. So if I would have to pick either Latavius Murray or Edmonds, I'm definitely going Murray because he's cheaper, and I think he projects way better. Leonard Fournette, he gets the volume. He'll get 20-plus touches a week. At $7K against the New York Jets, I think he's a great play today. He always seems to be a great play. Eventually, he'll get into the end zone. He only has 1 touchdown through the first 7 weeks, but his volume gets the points alone. That's what you're looking for out of a running back.
And even if Fournette doesn't get the most amount of rushing yards, he is going to be a target in the passing game.
He'll get at least 5 to 6 targets, 5 to 6 receptions.
So yeah, he should be getting some yards in the passing game as well.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Devonta Freeman, who even if Matt Ryan's out, Matt Schaub can still drop some screen passes and dunk down passes to Devonta Freeman. He's shown that he can be good in the rushing game and the passing game. And this Falcons offense needs to have some yards somewhere. And with Matt Schaub in, I don't know if you can really trust Julio or Ridley this week. So Todd Gurley is in a great matchup there. He is going up against the Bengals, which gives up a lot of rushing yards. So I definitely really like Todd Gurley this week. He's also projected one of the highest raw projected points for this week. So he's projected over 20, so that's really nice. Duke Johnson, I think, is the value play of the week here. He is going up against why am I drawing a blank of who the Texans are playing this week? Going up into Oakland, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah. The Oakland defense, which was absolutely torched by Aaron Jones last week. So, and then at $3,800. Now, for me, I don't know how much I'm going to get to Duke Johnson, because I'm going to have probably Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't want to have the running back with the quarterback. But if you are not running Deshaun Watson, Duke Johnson's definitely a great value option at running back or at flex. Then we got a couple maybes with Derrick Henry at 6,000. He's still a workhorse in Tennessee. The only problem is he doesn't get into the passing game. He is basically strictly a run-only running back.
He's basically just a big body in the backfield.
He's kind of like a Mark Ingram. And then Le'Veon Bell is a maybe too. Depends on how Sam Darnold plays, because if he plays anything like last week, I want nothing to do with Le'Veon Bell. You can still expect maybe 5 to 6 catches for Bell, along with his normal 15 to 20 touches for rushing. So he's a good play at 6,900, but not someone I'm going to be going for all the time here against Jacksonville, which has a good run defense. Especially with Allen, their linebacker that they drafted this last offseason, that's been really good at stopping the run.
Oh, yeah.
Some no's. Alvin Kamara, he's out. Plain and simple. That's when I made this list. I got the alert saying Alvin Kamara is out. So this is warning. Alvin Kamara is not playing, if you didn't know that already. No. Christian McCaffrey.
I disagree on that one.
He's the most expensive running back on the slate, going up against arguably, I think, the second best defense in the NFL in the 49ers. And every single time that McCaffrey's gone up against a good run defense, Tampa Bay twice basically, he's been limited. I think today's one of the first days that Christian McCaffrey is going to be under 100 yards rushing and receiving. I think he's going to be 20 points max, and at 9,200, that does not pay off his price tag. Another no is Saquon Barkley for the New York Giants. That's sad, but at 8,900, he's a little pricey there for his position, or for a matchup he's going up against. Detroit has one of the better rushing defenses in the NFL, and at this point, I can see just better options cheaper than Saquon Barkley. And then another no is Nick Chubb again for the Cleveland Browns at 6,600. Plain and simple, he's going up against New England. Anything you like to input there?
I still like McCaffrey. I'd put him as a maybe on my list. Just because he's pretty much the only offense Carolina has. So if Carolina does score points, it's going to be through Christian McCaffrey 90% of the time. And the last time I did not play Christian McCaffrey, he ended up going for 50-something points. So I don't want to get burned again, because I feel like that would end up happening for me. So I'm going to play Christian McCaffrey a little bit. It's not going to be extreme, maybe 10, 20%. But Christian McCaffrey is a play for me.
Okay.
But that's just my idea.
All right. We have the wide receivers list now. This one is also something
There's going to be 2 parts to this one.
Yeah, the next one only is 4 on the next slide, but yeah, It's just a carryover. Wide receivers, this is probably, in my opinion, the most important position you have when it comes to drafting DFS, because you kind of need to get these guys right. And it also depends on what quarterback you choose to where one of your wide receivers have to go to. If you went with Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins is a must play at $8,100 going up against that Oakland defense, which Aaron Rodgers played really torched last week for 42 points. So keep an eye on DeAndre Hopkins because he's going to have a bounce back week here at home against Oakland, and I really like this matchup for him. Corey Davis for the Tennessee Titans, 4,400, which is a really nice price for him. He is projected the best point per dollar player on the slate today, and I just like his price tag along with that. Mike Williams, he is going to be a very good play because Keenan Allen's not playing, and someone has to get an uptick in receptions, and I believe that will be Mike Williams, who's projected the second highest point per dollar on this whole slate, and he's going to possibly have a really nice impact in this game. Next, we have Michael Thomas, which even when Teddy Bridgewater did play,
he's still got a lot of action. Teddy Bridgewater was not a bad backup quarterback.
No, he wasn't. He really
probably
wasn't.
one of the best backup quarterbacks in the league right now.
He went 5-0.
Yeah, so I mean, they're not. New Orleans didn't miss a beat.
No, they did not. The only game they lost is when Teddy Bridgewater came in halfway through the game.
Yeah.
But Michael Thomas, 10 plus receptions every single week. So I like Michael Thomas in this matchup. $8,000, I think is worth his price tag. So definitely you have to have Michael Thomas. He's projected I think he's the highest projected wide receiver on this whole slate. Projected around 25 points. So keep an eye out for him. He will get you points regardless if he scores a touchdown or not because he gets the volume. He'll get 10 plus receptions. So that's a great play right there. Another Tennessee Titan here for this next one though, AJ Brown, which kind of makes it look interesting. If you wanted to start Ryan Tannehill, you can partner up with Corey Davis or AJ Brown, or if you want to play both, you can play both because they're so cheap. It'll allow you to go and get DeAndre Hopkins or Michael Thomas, or it'll allow you to go get a Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley if you want to go for the higher end running backs there. So,
or if you have a little bit more money, I feel like Cooper Kupp would be the best play there.
I'm getting to him. Tyler Boyd against the Rams today. This one I'm iffy on, but Tyler Boyd, even in the Bengals struggles, he still gets 7 to 10 receptions a game. He's one of the higher projected wide receivers. He's just really pissed me off the last few weeks, the way he's been playing. But it's not Tyler Boyd, it's because Andy Dalton sucks. Wonder when they're going to put Ryan Finley in. But I think Tyler Boyd's still a good option if the Rams jump off to a huge lead today. Andy Dalton is going to be forced to throw the ball, and Tyler Boyd is his favorite option. So definitely you can look that way if you're doing a game stack with the Rams, with Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp. So you could run it back with
Boyd or even Tate.
Boyd or Alden Tate, which Alden Tate's a cheaper thing. I mean, he's not on this list, but he's also a good cheap option. Next, we have Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's projected pretty well for this slate, so I kind of like him. At $7,100, he is a little pricey, but he will get you a decent amount of receptions.
Yes.
And next is the person you were trying to yell at me for here. Cooper Kupp. He is a must play if you have Jared Goff as your quarterback, obviously.
Or just as a plug and play because he's going to be one of the highest scoring wide receivers this week.
I think he can be the highest scoring wide receiver this week.
You said it a lot, but whatever. Especially going up against the Bengals, which has no defense. They're almost last in rushing, almost last in passing defense, and they're just not a good team, just giving up free wins.
Yeah, they're trying to make it to the Tank Bowl there against Miami in December. So then next we have DK Metcalf. For me, he's more of a GPP play than he is a cash play because he is a boomer bust type player. At $5K, it's worth the risk. Cole Beasley, $4,200 for the Bills. I actually really like this play He's cheap, and he's going up against a very poor secondary in the Philadelphia Eagles, which was torched by Dallas last week, Minnesota the week before. So Cole Beasley, kind of can look at John Brown for wide receivers, and they'll be good partnered up with Allen at quarterback. So you never know. This could be a really good game. It is I think it's a low projected total, but Cole Beasley and John Brown could be decent options. Ted Ginn Jr., he's a maybe. He's a GPP play. He is a boomer bust at $3,700. He may be worth the risk. With Drew Brees coming back, there's a higher chance of them throwing the ball down the field, and Ted Ginn's that down the field threat that Bridgewater didn't really take much of an advantage of come to that. And then another maybe, because it's dictating whether or not Matt Ryan was going to play, which I don't think he will.
He is not.
So that would, if Matt Ryan was playing, Julio Jones is a yes, but he is a maybe. The only reason he's a maybe is Julio Jones is good at football. #analysis. And then the last wide receivers we have here, Marvin Jones Jr. At 5,800 against the Giants is a great play. One thing to be careful of is short-term bias. He had the highest scoring week last week with 4 passing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns. He's not going to do that again.
No.
I can promise you that. Kenny Golladay, he's one of Matthew Stafford's, favorite targets. He will get you 7 to 10 receptions, so
at least
he has a good floor there. Mike Evans, it's Mike Evans. He's always projected well. He does need to get a couple deep threats deep balls down the field in order to pay off a $6,600 price tag. And then John Brown for the Buffalo Bills going up against Philadelphia's poor secondary is a very nice play there at 5,900.
So a couple things. Mike Evans, I have a really hard time going back to. I played him a bunch of weeks in a row, and he blanked one week, got less than 5 another week. So he is a hit or miss wide receiver. And I don't feel like I want to be starting him confidently. One player that I did notice that was not on this list was Tyler Lockett. I would definitely recommend trying to start him, especially because he's one of Russell Westbrook.
Russell
You're
thinking
Wilson.
basketball there.
I am in basketball mode. I'm sorry. Russell Wilson's favorite target. So I would definitely recommend playing him as well. I don't know why he was not on this list.
Yeah. And Lockett's also a good partner with Russell Wilson if you are starting him at quarterback.
100%. We'll move on to the tight ends now. I've created this list. You basically need the top 5. I got Darren Waller because he's the highest projected one, I believe. He's gonna get you the points. He's one of the main, receivers now for the Raiders. Josh Hill is going to be a good point per dollar play. He's cheaper on the list. That's why I also put Jonnu Smith on the bottom. He's also a cheap option. Might be playing him a little bit. I have Hunter Henry on there. Once again, most of these are just high point per dollar plays. Tight end is more like a punt position. You don't really... I would rather go to better wide receivers and running backs rather than a tight end. So Hunter Henry's an option. Zach Ertz is always an option, especially if you're doing some type of Eagles game stack.
Or if you're stacking, if you're doing a stack with Josh Allen and Cole Beasley or John Brown, a good way to run it back with it would be like Alshon Jeffrey and Zach Ertz there.
And then the tight end I'm probably playing the most is Cameron Brate. He's got a high point per dollar play. He's cheap, and it allows me to go ahead and get other bigger players because I'm only spending $2,700 in one position, and then defense I'm only going to be spending anywhere from $2,400 to $2,900. We'll get to that list in just a second. So that allows me to go ahead and build better wide receivers, better quarterback, better running back. So I feel like that's a smart choice. Evan Ingram, I just put as a maybe because of his injury. He's probable. He's probable now
with a knee injury, yeah.
But it's a knee injury, so you don't know how much he's going to be able to do. Austin Hooper is always an option. Kittle is always an option. I put them as maybes because they're
priced.
They're a little bit pricey, and on a slate like this, I don't want to be going to tight ends as much. And then Genu Smith is a good cash play if you wanted to go ahead and throw him into your lineup. It's basically the same deal as Brait. He's just $100 more expensive, and I feel like both of them are going to get you around the same.
Yeah. So my favorite play in this slate is Cameron Brait. He's $2,700. He's the cheapest one on this list. Also, he's going to be the starter with O.J. Howard getting hurt. He's not playing today, so he could be expecting an uptick in receptions, which could lead to a very nice day for $2,700, around a 10-point day possibly. So I would take that any day of the week for him.
100%. Anything else on tight ends?
Austin Hooper could be a better play than you think because even after Matt Ryan went out last week, that's when he got all his points. He had no points through the first 3 quarters. Matt Ryan gets hurt, and then all of a sudden Matt Schaub starts throwing to him. He gets a couple of receptions. He gets his touchdown. He gets his 14 points. So Austin Hooper could be okay even with Matt Schaub at quarterback.
Well, obviously, maybe they're just not high. You can definitely play them. Absolutely. They're just not as high as my RESs. They're most of the time when we have maybes, they're either not projected as high or a little bit expensive, or like the price per dollar is not as high for those, so they're not as good as plays. But those are definitely good plays. Any of the no's we do not recommend. But last slide will be our defenses.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
Yeah. Panthers, Patriots, Lions, and Colts are going to be the 4 main ones that I'm starting this week. Panthers have one of the highest point per dollars.
The highest point per dollar.
Patriots put in there because Patriots, they are the most expensive ones, so I'm not going to be playing them as much. Lions I like just because they're going up against the Giants. The Giants have been struggling lately. They're only 2-5.
Daniel Jones is not good with protecting the ball right now.
So they're going to get fumbles, and they're going to get some interceptions. Indianapolis Colts, I feel, are a very good play. They're going up against Denver, so that's why I know. Colts defense is probably going to be the one that I use the most, along with the Panthers. Some other options you can do, I have Eagles in there because they're going against the Bills. Bills are not the highest performing offense. Normally when they win, it's through defense. Jaguars are against the Jets. That's why. Rams are against the Bengals. And we threw the Raiders in there just because they're a $1,500 option. It'll save you at minimum $900 on the next cheapest defense on our list. So,
but I definitely do not recommend them.
We do not recommend it. But if you need to do a cash play. That's the only reason why we put them in there.
They are going up against the Houston Texans, which is a great offensive team. As we've already discussed, Deshaun Watson's the highest projected quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the highest projected wide receivers, so I would not recommend it.
But we just put them in there just for cash play purposes.
Absolutely. And if you have the money, put the Patriots in. If they were in a different position, I think I saw this, they would be, the 6th highest scoring wide receiver. They'd be the top 5 scoring running back. If the Patriots defense was a running back, they'd be the highest scoring tight end if the Patriots defense was a tight end. So this Patriots defense is putting up unreal numbers, and it feels like the opportunity cost of playing the Panthers or playing the Jaguars defense or the Colts defense is just too much. If this defense is going to be getting you 15 points compared to maybe 9 from these other defenses, then I don't want to pass up on that because then everyone else has that 7-point advantage that did start the Patriots defense, and you're trying to work your way up, which is tough. Yeah.
All right. One thing I want to do before we end the show or end the video, I want to hear your pick for 100 yards and a touchdown because I see Osmo doing this. So I want to try it too.
Okay. Are we doing any like underpriced or whatever, or can it be anyone?
Try to go. Don't pick don't pick an obvious one. No, nobody
Try to
nobody
go-
that was on our list.
Nobody that was on our list.
Yes, correct.
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett. I'm gonna go Jamison Crowder. I feel like he could be a
Are you seeing ghosts now?
he could be a sneaky option. Because Darnold loves going to the slot a lot, and he's gonna get a bunch of different receptions. So I'm gonna go Crowder. Nick's got
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett. Let us know who you think who's gonna get 100 yards and a touchdown in the comment section below. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, share out the video, help us grow this channel. Subscribe to our other YouTube channels. Those links will be in the description as well. And we'll go ahead and we'll have our next video for the NBA slate for tomorrow and the Monday Night Football slate.
Yep.
So that's going to do it for the video. Until next time, peace out, guys.
See you.